Welcome to another episode of last week's Comics Today. It is a small week for me, but some good ones, and thankfully, some surprisingly good ones. So let's get into it. And the first one that is not surprising is the newest, supposedly final, DCeased series. We did see Final Crisis many years ago, and you saw how that worked out as far as the final goes. So I have been enjoying DCeased since the beginning. Tom Taylor is a generally great writer, and DCeased has been a wonderful read, also heartbreaking. But I've really enjoyed it. And here we get, these are the preview pages that were put out. So I don't think I'm spoiling anything by showing these, but it is Supergirl, and it's an interesting origin, I'll say, for Supergirl, because her parents, instead of sending her to Earth, I think Earth is the wrong place to send her to the New Gods. And on the surface, I love the idea, and as soon as I turned this page and I got to zombie New Gods, I'm like, oh god, this is terrible. So things don't go as planned, but it was a good plan, I'll say. After that, we get our usual cast of characters. So there is John and Cassie and Damian, and I think I've requested this before, but please, Todd, make some more figures based on this line. I love these designs. Damian is very clean. I do like the blue, red, and black that John has going on. And Cassie, I think there just aren't enough Cassie figures in general. I think she has an awesome design. So, I really enjoyed this. If you are unfamiliar with DCeased, it is basically a zombified version of DC characters. And it is really quite an excellent read. Highly recommend it. Hold up, because there's something that I wanted to talk about and forgot. There is a preview here at the end for DC Mech, and this is something that I was planning to ignore, but since it was already printed in the issue that I'd already bought, I did decide to read it, and it's pretty good. We get this very 1940s, just immediately post-World War II version of Justice Society, and things do not go well during their first encounter with a parademon who is extra sized. You can see just how big he is there, and they realize that they are in trouble. So I wasn't planning on paying any attention to that, and it's good. So I might get DC Mech. I guess we'll see. Next up is Love Everlasting, issue 1, and this is by Tom King and Elsa Cartier. I became a fan of hers. I did a video on the November 4-volume series. It should be hopefully there. But this was announced a few months ago, and I'm like, well, Tom King, again, as always, hit or miss for me. And Elsa, I do quite enjoy her art, so I will give this a try. And other than that, I had no idea what to expect. I know that this is being put out through Substack and then published later. I don't subscribe to really anyone's Substack other than Jeff Lemire. I did originally, and then I unsubscribed because I just don't want to deal with the amount of emails that I get. But I didn't read anything about this, so I didn't really know what to expect. And what this is basically a romance comic with some hardcore twists in there. So we've got Joan here, comes to the big city. She's living with her best friend. Her best friend is dating a guy who winds up being Joan's boss. He gives her a job. She winds up falling in love with him. And then she is very conflicted because she's in love with her best friend's main man. And that's all. It's very straightforward. The first 8 pages, I'll say. I didn't count, but it is roughly 3 stories. And So we get to the end of the first one, and then it switches, and Joan is still the main character, but it's a different time period. And then there is a third story where, again, it is Joan as the main character in yet another time period, and now the two guys that she is with from the previous comics are present here, and she remembers them, but nobody else around her. Everyone else is just treating things like they're normal, and she's like, I'm losing my mind. So I don't know what's happening. I don't know how long the series is supposed to last, but it is very interesting. The first, like I said, third of the book is roughly just a straightforward romance story, and then after that you get sort of romance while also a decline into madness. It's very interesting. I'll be adding this to my pull list if it's not already. Not quite lastly, but I did pick up Samurai Doggy from AfterShock, and AfterShock I have sort of 50-50 odds with them about whatever I read I'm going to enjoy or not, and this was one of the comic shop employee picks of the week, so I did grab it. It is oversized. I don't know the page count, but there is quite a lot in here, and it is good. I'm going to show you this. So this is how it starts out. Right? Like this. Already panel 3. Page 1, panel 3. You're like, oh no. And then that. So, whew, it's a real gut punch right from the jump. After that, the art is phenomenal, by the way. This is even a somewhat dull page, but you get a sense there of the lead. And there's a robot vulture. There's an action shot. So the art is phenomenal. The writing is somewhat sparse. Sparse is the word I was looking for. But, I mean, art is phenomenal. I'm really going to have to pay attention to whoever Santos. See what else they've done, because I am a new fan of their work. Looks like, I mean, from this, they did something for DC, and they've done some other stuff. Yeah, we're going to have to check that out. Here's the thing. I wish every comic publisher put out preview pages for every series, and in this regard I'm really thankful for Image. They put out in previews, they put preview pages for all of their new series. So whenever there's an issue 1, they'll throw in 3 to 5 preview pages for the new series. I wish everyone did that. AfterShock is one of the smaller publishers, and they're someone that I do wish put out preview pages for their books. Just because, as I've said, I do like to try their stuff, but I have about 50-50 odds of whether or not I'm going to like it. So I would prefer to know in advance before I buy, and it seems like such a simple marketing thing. Anyway, I'm off topic. This is great. It's probably going to be my pick of the week, because it is such a small week. But all 3 of these are great, and I will give Samurai Doggy pick of the week. It's their stuff is generally 5-issue series, so I'll see where this goes. But I am adding this to my pull list. Now there is one more book that I got this week, and that is the hardcover, oversized Amazing Screw-On Head. And I surprisingly have never read Screw-On Head before. I did watch the animated short from like 2006, I think. I saw this solicited months ago and remembered, hey, I like that, and I might as well give the hardcover a try, because they are putting out in hardcover with new material. It's worth noting. This book is nutty, and I highly enjoyed it. I do recommend it. I think, yeah, it's $40, which kind of a lot, but whatever. If you're a fan, absolutely get this. And I've probably talked long enough in order to make this its own separate video, but it's just really good. So that is everything that I got this week, and I think I already declared Samurai Doggy as my pick of the week. It is great. I hope you give it a try. Otherwise, there is one thing about DCeased I forgot to mention too, and there's a couple of weird faces in here. This face is a little weird, and then there is this guy Gardner face is also a little bit weird. I don't know. Anyway, it was a good week, if small, and I think next week is back to regular size. I have to verify that. But as always, I get all of my books from a local comic shop. If you don't know where yours is, you can use this URL to find the one closest to you. Thanks for watching.